What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mobile video. So a few days ago I did make a video on the top 5 SMGs for season 3. So of course those were my opinions of what could be the best SMGs. Hopefully they're going to be accurate when, you know, season 3 actually launches in about 9 days. But now let's actually talk about the top 5 assault rifles that could be like really good for the next season. So before we get into this, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more Call of Duty mobile content, and now let's begin with our number 5 weapon. So the number 5 weapon that's going to be probably the best in this game in my opinion is going to be the Peacekeeper Mark II. So the reason why I think that is because this weapon has so many different options that you can put on this weapon. They have the task force barrel, they have the rapid fire barrel to make it into an SMG, they have a built-in silencer, they have the long range barrel, they have the suppressor to make it even better. Like there's so many different things that they can do that you can do with this weapon to make it really viable, and not to mention that the headshot multiplier is enormous. With a headshot multiplier, it works in a lot of ways. This weapon's normally maybe like a 4 to 5 shot weapon, but if you are killing someone at a long range and you do manage to at least land one headshot, it'll turn immediately into a 4-shot kill, which is amazing, especially for this weapon. In close ranges and long ranges, this weapon can really dominate if you know how to use it. So now let's talk about the AS Val. So the AS Val is my number 4 pick, and the reason being is that ever since a mini update came out to buff this thing, this weapon has become an entirely different, it feels like a completely different weapon compared to what it was before. The bullet speed back then was just not the greatest. If someone was moving to the side, you were not going to hit them. The target, like hitting them took too long because the bullet speed was way too slow. No matter what you put on, you could put the semi-auto, you could put the, you could pretty much put any option, even the mid-range barrel, and it still wouldn't be that great. But after the update, this weapon absolutely became a monster. The bullet speed's much quicker. You could pick off enemy targets like from almost a mile away, and it's amazing. I mean, this thing kills like in 4 shots with rapid fire potential. Of course, it kills in 3 shots up close. Like if you're like really up close on someone, if you're in a close range combat, it's gonna be like about 4 shots. So yeah, like this thing is just an absolute monster. So I'm assuming that this thing's gonna get used a lot more in season 3. So now the number 3 weapon, which will probably surprise a lot of you, but it's actually going to be the M4. I'm calling it right now. The M4 is definitely going to be one of those top weapons. The reason why is because the multipliers are going to get a major buff. So the headshot multiplier is going to increase to 1.3%, while the chest areas are going to be increased to 1.1%. This means you could pretty much get a 4-shot kill if you are accurate enough, instead of always getting a 5-shot, which kind of annoyed me about this weapon, because no matter how close you were or no matter how far you were, it was always going to be a 5-shot no matter what. So yeah, they're finally changing that and making it a little bit stronger. The only downside is that they are nerfing the movement for, well, basically to replace it with accuracy. So that's another plus for this weapon. And this weapon's already fast as it was, so I'm assuming they're not going to really reduce it that much, but the fact that this weapon's getting even more accuracy is amazing. So I'm sure the number 2 weapon right here that you're seeing is the KN-44. I'm sure this did not come to you guys as a surprise because just of the sheer amount of buffs that this weapon is getting. So the KN-44 has kind of been out of commission for, well, like ever since really like season 8. It hasn't really gotten a lot of love. Season 8 and season 7, like that's when the weapon was at its best. I mean, it had like literally no recoil. It had some pretty fast aim speed, a 4-shot kill from like literally any range. This weapon was an absolute monster. But after the gunsmith came out, it kind of became irrelevant up until now. So what changes is this weapon going to receive? So of course, the barrels, the ranger barrels and the marksman barrels are going to be receiving some major buffs, mainly when it comes to the ADS speed. Usually when you put a marksman barrel, it does slow down your weapon a lot, but they are going to reduce that penalty by a significant amount, so it won't be so heavy when you're trying to aim down your sights with those things. Other changes include faster reload times, better stability when it comes to horizontal recoil. Also, they're going to have a 1.1 times multiplier if you do hit in the chest. I think the headshot multiplier is going to stay the same, and it's going to have a little bit more speed. So yeah, according to the patch notes, it did say that it was going to have above average AR speed. So yeah, I'm happy for that. So, but I'm hoping that the horizontal recoil doesn't become too much of a problem, because usually I use strike stock in order to actually have any sort of accuracy with this weapon. But if they are going to increase the horizontal recoil, I'm hoping it's enough to, like, so I won't have to use the strike stock. So now let's move on to the number 1 position, which is going to be the DRH. So I believe the DRH is going to be the top supreme assault rifle. I don't know if I placed the KN-44 on number 2, like where, like, I don't know if it actually deserves that position, because they're kind of like neck and neck. But I think the DRH will excel a little bit more since it doesn't really have any sort of horizontal recoil. I know a lot of you guys are going to comment down below and ask me where's the Man of War. Yes, I understand it's getting a damage buff, but no matter how you put it, it's always going to be a 3-shot kill. The thing is that that weapon's getting a significant ADS nerf. And yeah, it might get more stability, but it's going to be a much more campy weapon. And I know a lot of people like to rush in this game, so that's why I chose the DRH as the number 1 weapon, because it could consistently 4-shot as well as have some pretty decent stability without any sort of like stability increasing attachments. So pretty much the main reason why I picked the DRH over the KN-44 is because first, the KN-44 has a lot of recoil problems, vertical and horizontal. But when it comes to the DRH, you don't really need a lot of attachments to keep this weapon stable. I mean, it's naturally stable on its own. If anything, with the DRH, you're just going to have to focus on accuracy and speed. And now that the no stock has been nerfed, you could always use the combat stock or the light stock. It doesn't really matter as long as you keep your accuracy good. And like I said, it's the accuracy shit, but if you know what attachments to put, this weapon could still be a monster. I could basically long shot people without any effort. Even in terms of reloading, I mean, the DRH does seem to be a lot faster. I mean, it doesn't matter what mag you put. You could put the 38 round mag or the 30 round OTM. It's going to reload almost the same. The thing with the KN-44 is that it relies too much on the fast reload. A lot of people use that in order to reload faster, but with the DRH, it just naturally has a fast reload. And let's not mention the fact that this weapon does have a 3-shot potential if you are up close, like in personal with someone. So that's something that the KN-44 doesn't have. It's still going to kill in 4 shots. But yeah, that's why I believe the DRH is going to be the number 1 weapon. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like. I'm tired. I'm going to get some sleep, so make sure to share this with your friends. Let's get up to 3,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys next time.